All right, so welcome back. In the last video, you wrote your very first formula. Awesome. And our formula was right here. Okay. Our formula was B4 times C4. Let's talk about some shortcuts for doing that because we wrote that out manually, but there's actually some much easier ways to do that. Let me show you the first trick, okay? Let's do the same thing down here. We need to multiply 3 times 200 right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to start with that equal sign. I'm going to type the equal sign in there. And last time we actually typed out the cell name. In this case, the cell name is B5. We could certainly type out B5, but what if we don't feel like typing? What if we're feeling kind of lazy? We don't actually need to type. We can just click once on the actual cell. I'm going to show you. I'm going to click on B5 once. And look what happened. It just showed up automatically right here in the cell that I'm starting to write my formula in. Awesome. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Shift 8 to give that star, that asterisk symbol in there. Next thing I want to do is I want to multiply by what? By C5 right here. And so, yeah, I could type C5 or I could just click once right here. Isn't that cool? And it just automatically pops that in there for me right there. Isn't that neat? And so let's say I want to apply that. I'm done writing my formula. All I need to do now is just click the return button and boom, it figured it out for us. And yes, I guess 3 times $200 is $600. I suppose we could have figured that out, but the whole point of this, though, is that we want the spreadsheet to do the work. All right, so there's a slightly faster way of inputting your formulas into your spreadsheet. Now you might think, all right, this is great. I'm going to go ahead and input my formulas in the rest of my spreadsheet and I'm good to go. Not quite so fast. I'm going to show you an even faster way to do it and you're going to love me for this. In fact, I'm so confident it's faster. I'm going to delete this and we're going to start all over. I'm going to show you right now what I would normally do whenever I want to repeat kind of the same type of formula over and over again. And this is the case we have right here, right? What we want to do here is in every case on every one of these lines, I want to repeat the same formula, okay? I want to do this times this, okay? Except the only thing that's going to change is going to be the row number, okay? So rather than doing this individually, guess what you can do? There's actually a built-in function within all spreadsheets. All spreadsheets work the same way, where if you actually click once on the cell that contains the formula that you want to repeat, okay, the formula that contains that pattern that you want to repeat, if you click once on that, you will typically have down here, you'll notice that there'll be a little extra square that's popping out there, okay? This will be very similar in all spreadsheet applications. If you hover over that, you'll notice that your cursor will change. It will change from an arrow to something that looks more like a crosshairs, okay? If you click and hold, okay, I'm holding my mouse right now. And then if you drag that down, see what's happening there? It's kind of drawing that square around. If I let go now, whoa, what just happened there? Okay, well, what just happened there is that the spreadsheet recognized, oh, you probably want to repeat that pattern. And so look, if I click on these, okay, let's take a look. I'm going to click on this one right here. And then if I look at the input line right up here, I see it says B8 times C8, which is exactly what I want. If I click right here, we see that this says B6 times C6. Isn't that cool? It saved you a bunch of work. All you had to do was click. You just write the formula once. You click and hold and drag it down. Why don't I show that to you again? I'm going to go down here. I'm going to do the same thing. Just for some practice, I'll go ahead and go equals, and I'll click there to put that B13. I want the asterisk right here for the multiplication sign. I'm going to click once right here, and we've just written this formula out. Awesome. I'm confident that that's what I want to multiply. I want to multiply B13 times by C13. So I will click return now or enter. Okay, so here's the pattern I want to repeat all the way down here. What should I do? I've selected this particular this cell right here by clicking on it just once. Okay, don't double click, you just single click. It's highlighted and I get this little kind of dangly box down here. I'm going to hover over here until I get my crosshairs. I'm going to click and hold and I'm going to drag that down and let it go, and look at all that. Boy, am I ever glad that I did not have to figure out $430 times $5. Well, I guess for some people that might be easy to figure out. It's not easy for me. I'm not great at that kind of math. All right, it did all of that for us. Wow, that is super cool. Isn't that awesome? We basically figured out how to add all of that stuff up, or how to create all of those formulas very, very quickly. If we had to write those out, you'd probably still be typing them out right now. And so we just did that in a super, super fast way. And this is looking really, really good, isn't it? Hey, I'm excited. Okay. Next, in the next video, I'm going to show you kind of a neat trick that sort of goes beyond just normal formulas. And you're probably wondering, what is that? It's what I call uber formulas, okay? In other words, I'm going to introduce you to the concept of functions. Don't worry, it's not scary at all. It's actually really, really handy and you're going to love it, I promise, okay? So I will see you in the next video.